sometimes in business, people have these things set up. They have the upsell or the downsell or the bump of their product. They have the conversion rates which are being optimized. They might have a great offer suite which is set up by a sales system, but they are not turning up in their power and selling. They are not turning up in their power and serving to the best capacity they have. I am not saying that you need to be constant. I'm not saying that you need to be posting once, twice, 10 times a day. I'm not saying that you need to be out there being the most famous person in the world. But what I am saying, and you will know if this is you because it comes up quite a lot, there are people playing smaller than they should be in this world, in business. And that is one of the things that is leaving cash on the table. As a female online business owner with dreams of more income, more impact, and more freedom, you know there's more potential in your business waiting to be unlocked. But figuring out how to shape and transform your biz and get seen, loved, selling, and scaling can feel like, well, a mystery. So how do you cut through the noise, create offers that deeply resonate, sell and scale without you always being on, all while creating a life you love? That is exactly what this show is about. Welcome to Seen, Loved, Selling, Scale. I'm Corinda, your small biz marketing sidekick, digital offer strategist, and online biz bestie. With tens of thousands of digital offers sold, tens of thousands of people helped, and millions of dollars in revenue generated in my own business as a small business owner. And through this podcast, I am here to share it all. You'll gain clear, actionable insights, strategies, and shortcuts to master your online marketing, build scalable online offers, and create a business model that works for you as much as it works for your people, so you can grow your income, amplify your impact, and free up more of your time. Let's get started. Hello and a massive welcome to you. Welcome to this episode where we are going to stop you leaving cash on the table. Because here is the thing, I get to work with so many beautiful online business owners. It absolutely makes my heart sing. But what doesn't make my heart sing is when I see how much money people are leaving on the table, and in connection with that, how much impact they also aren't putting out to their perfect people, that people are then going and buying things from other people potentially that they could have been serving their clients. So I don't want you leaving money on the table. I want you making the most income and most impact that you can. And so in today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the areas that I most commonly see people leaving cash on the table that are also somewhat quick or quick-ish wins for you, right? Because I could tell you to stop leaving cash on the table by overhauling your business, and that's absolutely awesome. And sure, we've had episodes like that and probably will continue to have that in the future because that's definitely something people go through. But what I want to actually help you with in this episode is look for where in whatever your current business model is that you can make more income and you can make more impact. So let us dive in. There is going to be 5 places we are going to cover that you could potentially be leaving cash on the table for you to check through in your business. So the first area where I most often see people leave cash on the table is not having upsells, downsells, or bumps on the offers that already exist in their business. And no matter what business type you run, you can and should be exploring these things. Some of the greatest brands in the world that you would experience every day do these types of things. They are completely normal. And there is absolutely no reason for you not to be doing this. So what am I talking about when I'm talking about upsells, downsells, or bumps? Well, I'm going to give you some exact examples. So what an upsell might be is where somebody has gone through and they have said, hey, I want to sign up for your membership, or I want to sign up for your one-to-one package. And an upsell would literally be offering them something to say, hey, I saw that you got the package with the 6 calls. Did you want the package with the 12 calls? Because it is a better deal for you, and I'm going to offer this to you at a special price for X amount of time. So someone may purchase your actual product, offer, service, and you can send them out an email or whatever it may be. It could even be on a discovery call of you offering them ethically, if it is actually right for them, the different package. And now I was actually shopping on an e-commerce website the other day, and this happened to me where they said, hey, we can see you ordered one of these. Did you know that you can get two of these for a special price? And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, sign me up. And so this is happening all the time in our world where we are upgrading or upselling. Now, I don't love the word upgrade because I actually do not think that if someone has made a buying decision to get just one thing and they don't get the second thing, that downgrades their experience. They're still getting an amazing experience with that one thing. But what we are offering them is essentially a better price or a better offer of the one thing. So an upsell of some description. Now, the other thing that we can do is downsell people. So let's say that they were looking at an offer and they decide not to buy. And most commonly where this comes into place is in launches. So let's say that you are launching something and you have a VIP waitlist, which is definitely something that I recommend in my launch strategy, where you have collected a group of people's information that are interested in your core area of support. So for example, if I was launching the Scalable Business School, I know that these beautiful humans want to transform their business. They don't want to always be on anymore. They want to know how to seamlessly make passive and semi-passive income. Like, I know these things because that's what the Scalable Business School is about. And the Scalable Business School is the entire transformation from the low ticket offer to their next offer, to tying it all together with automated traffic and automated sales systems that just make life an absolute beautiful breeze. But there are always going to be a certain portion of people that don't buy during my launch. So let's say that I have 300 people on the wait list, maybe 100 of those people are going to buy. What a downsell is recognizing there are 200 people in my world that told me that they have pain points and desires around something that I am an expert in. And now they did not buy that full solution, but I have these beautiful humans that maybe I can think differently about, even go to them and ask them, of course, why they didn't buy that. A lot of the time it might be, for higher ticket offers, price point, whatever it might be, right? So I might say, okay, how can I still get them some kind of outcome, but at a different price point? Or if they were saying, like, let's say that you're selling a parenting program, I just do not have the time to invest in this right now, then it might be that you sell something that's a shorter time frame, right? So you've really got to understand why people didn't buy. But then what you essentially want to do is go through and offer them something else still around that pain point, desire, aspiration that they said that they had when they signed up to your waitlist, because that's what your program is about, in a different format at a different price point. So if it was the Scalable Business School where I teach people how to ideate, create, sell, scale, and thrive, and I'm teaching them all of these things, maybe they're like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to commit to the whole program yet. I don't even know what my idea would be. And while I teach that in the school, and many people jump in not even having an idea because they know they're going to figure it out and then have all of the stuff to bring it to life, maybe I could just say, hey, you can just buy the Ideate module, and I'd call it something else like Scalable Business Starter or something like that. And actually say to people like, hey, I can see you weren't interested in the Scalable Business School. I totally get it. Maybe you're experiencing this. Maybe you're experiencing that. There is another way that I can help you. It's not the full school, but if you want to start your journey into the transformation that we were talking about, here is the Scalable Business Starter or whatever that might be. And then here's the other thing with that. Once someone has done that like Scalable Business Starter, for my example that I've literally just made up here on the spot, what can happen is I actually am now ready for the bigger offer. This has actually helped me to remove those blocks that I have. I'm really excited working with you, yada, yada, yada. And so you can then credit them if you want into that bigger program. So it can actually be a conversion strategy long term, but what we're talking about right now is not leaving cash on the table. So with our upsell strategy and our downsell strategy, both of those things are aimed at taking somebody who is already in our world right now, who has described and confirmed they have pain points, desires, aspirations around a certain thing, and helping them in a different way. And this is really where so many people leave cash on the table. And look, I get it, right? Baby steps. So do not allow yourself not having an upsell or not having a downsell stop you from launching. That is absolutely not what we're about, because done is better than perfect. So yes, in a perfect world, it's great to go into a launch, and if you have a downsell, to sell that at the end of the launch. But here's the thing, I don't have that Scalable Business School downsell that I just spoke about. Who knows? Maybe I will create it, maybe I won't. But I'm going to launch the school anyway, and I have launched the school anyway because I want to get the school out there, make sure that that's selling, perfect my launch around that. And then when I've done that, my next step would be potentially considering upsells or downsells for that. Now, here's the thing though, so many people don't do that. They don't go back and optimize. So really hear me when I say that nuance. Like, don't let this delay your processes, your launching, your offers, your discovery calls, whatever that may be. But when you have the chance, this should be something that you are thinking about, optimizing that exact customer point there and then. And then, of course, we have bumps. Now, bumps are something a little bit different where we're offering something complementary. And if anyone is in the Scalable Business School and listening to this or has been to any of my speeches or has even listened to some of these podcast episodes, you might have heard this analogy before. But I call a low ticket offer, for example, a glass of water. And if we're giving someone the glass of water, if the offer is a glass of water for them, so they're really thirsty, they're saying, I just need a glass of water. We're like, here we go, here it is, meeting their pain points, desires, aspirations. The bump is the straw to that. So it's not the upsell to the glass of water. So it's not taking it from 250 mils to a liter. That's the upsell. It's not a downsell. So it's not saying, hey, I know you didn't want my glass of water, which is a beautiful crystal glass with beautiful spring fresh water in it. Do you just want to buy the cup on its own? That way you can go and find your own water to fill it in the future, and that's still helping you with your problem. Instead, we're looking for something complementary to the thing that they just bought that can truly help them. So this is the straw to the glass of water. So for example, in my world, I sell content packs, and I have had a bump in the past where it's like, hey, I can help you write your social media content. And then it's like, hey, I can actually help you better describe your service that you talk about in your social media content. So the social media content that I have sold has been a number of different price points, but let's say it's $37. I had a bump on that for $10. Now, here's the thing. I was going to be having people going and buying that glass of water, that content product regardless, because that was a focus in my business. And so on the checkout page, I was like, do you want this extra help? And it was $10. And I have made $43,652.43 Australian off a $10 US dollar order bump. And I know that's strange. I sell in USD, but a lot of my accounting is done in Australian. So just to put that in perspective, that's around 14 Australian dollars. So to make it a bit easier, I sold a 14 Australian dollar product roughly and made $43,000 back off that I would not have made if I hadn't just created that straw and put it on the checkout page. This is what I mean when I say people are leaving money on the table. And you can bet that I then also after that had another offer that can help people further in their journey. And then I continue to move those people through their customer journey into my other offers. So what I'm really doing here is making sure that I am looking for ways to serve my people and creating smart offers, smart funnels, smart customer journeys around this. So I really want you to look into your business and ask yourself, where are potential opportunities for upsells? Where are potential opportunities for downsells? Where are potential opportunities for bumps? Or if you have these things, are they converting at the moment? Or do you need to change the copy up, change the offer up, whatever it might be to actually get them converting as well? Which brings me to the second area of where people are leaving cash on the table, which is conversion rates. So all across our business, we are having touch points with our beautiful people. And at each touch point, a certain percentage of people will move forward. So you will send an email. A certain percentage of people will move forward by opening it. Then they will read that email, and a certain amount of people will move forward again by clicking that email. That click might take them to a sales page. So you now have people on this sales page, only a certain percentage of them will go and buy. And what people do not do enough of in their business that leaves money on the table is going through and optimizing these conversion rates. Just changing the subject line of an email, if that then takes it from a 40% open rate to a 50% open rate, you can have heaps more people moving to that next stage to read that email. If you can then change your click-through rate from 4% to 5% or 8%, even double it, right? You all of a sudden, let's say 100 people opened your email. And instead of having 4 people click through, you have 8 people clicking through. this is the exact same touch point in your brand. You've probably done the exact same work on social media through paid advertising, wherever it is, to get people onto your email list. And just by making these simple optimizations of changing the positioning or changing some messaging or changing some words or adding a story or taking a section out, just really experimenting, you can be doing the exact same work in your business, getting seen by the exact same amount of people. This is not about increasing traffic, but your business earning more money because of these optimizations. So the simplest way to think of this is if you have 100 people going to a sales page in your business and your conversion rate is 2.5%, on average, 2.5 people buy out of every 100 people you send there. Now, a lot of people start going into like, I have to send more traffic, or this offer's a dud. I thought I would make more money off this. When the real answer a lot of the time is going and actually looking at the sales page itself. Because if you can go through and change that sales page and elements on that, different positioning, different messaging, using some sales psychology on there, whatever it might be, and you can move that from a 2.5% conversion rate to a 3, to a 4, to a 5, which is basically industry standard. Maybe you can go above industry standard and get a 7, get a 10, get a 15% conversion rate on there. All of a sudden, that same 100 people that you had sent either through your work organically or your paid traffic, you start to increase your sales. You've gone from 2.5 sales to 5 sales at 5%, 6 sales at 6%, 10 sales at 10%. And so many people are not looking in their business to actually look at their data and say, what the heck is going on here? So the two things that you really want to have in your business is Google Analytics or some kind of analytics software so you can be tracking your actual conversion rates. You know, Google Analytics is amazing at tracking like website conversion rates. Your email provider might give you or should give you open rates and click-through rates. You want to increase those things if you're sending traffic forward there, but really focusing on those sales pages, for example. And I also use a tool called Hotjar in order to do that. So to give you a little bit of a heads up, I put Hotjar on my pages. It actually records what my traffic is doing on those pages in terms of a literal heat map. So it says you had all your traffic here, they started dropping off here, or a lot of people dropped off here. And it shows me this through a color change, starting with red, working all the way down to like a cold color. And so I can look at this heat map and be like, oh, I lost a lot of people in this section. I'm going to rewrite that. Or, oh, I lost a lot of people in this section of the offer. Maybe they can't see why they need it. Maybe it was off-putting. Maybe it created objections. I've really got to think about my IC and change that section. But using that heat map is everything. So this is the next place people are leaving cash on the table, not looking at their conversion rates. And I love, love, love. We dive deep into this in the Scalable Business School and the Scalable Business Society. I love just being able to watch people change one or two things on a sales page and all of a sudden they've doubled their income for the week. This is really how powerful this is. I cannot explain this enough. Then the third place where I see people leaving cash on the table is by not having a low ticket offer. And this is for two reasons. So the first reason is a lot of the people that I work with, for example, in the Scalable Business School, they have been doing mid to higher ticket one-to-one work, or even just like mid to high ticket group programs or something like that. And what's happening is this same thing that we spoke about with no upsells, downsells, or bumps. They're getting seen by a lot of people. And I don't just mean in the launch phase here, like the example I used before. I mean constantly. They're on social media, they're doing emails, they're doing podcasting, like however you are getting seen, you are having people get to know you, like you, love you, really resonate with the pain points, desires, aspirations, the journey that you help people with. They go into your world, they have a look and they think, oh, right now that offer is just not for me. Like it's either out of my price point, out of my time, out of my level of where I think I'm at, whatever it might be. And people are doing so much work to get seen only for this offer not to be right for their IC and then having nothing else there, like a fallback or a safety net, right? So when the IC says, oh, I can't do that right now. Again, a lot of people are going to say, I can do that right now, which is beautiful. But let's say you're getting in front of 1,000 people a week on social media and 10 of those people want to buy your high ticket offer. What's happening with the other 990 of those people? how can we be getting them into a different offer? And here's the other thing when I say you're leaving cash on the table with this, because obviously that's a huge area, not having this fallback, if you will, for people to step into for you financially to actually get return of all of that work you've been doing in a different way, but also to serve those people who literally just warmed up to you, spent the time falling in love with you, really have pain points and desires that they need solved. And now you can help them in a different way. And again, same thing as I spoke about with the downsell, this can then lead people into your offers, which is the second part of where not having a low ticket offer is losing you sales or leaving money on the table. It is because this is a literal job interview. There are going to be people who are not seeing you, number one, and having a low ticket offer means that you can run ads to this. In majority of the cases, when we do this right, your ad costs are then covered by the low ticket offer and you can make profit from that. But more people see you, so then increased visibility can also lead to more cash, more income, more impact. And then the other thing of that is the trust factor, the skin in the game factor. When we have low ticket offers, people get to experience us, see our methodology, see our teaching styles, coaching styles, helping styles, professional credibility, knowledge, get a win with us and think, wow, I really trust you. Look, it was actually trust that was holding me back from your higher ticket offer. I am going to sign up now that I can actually see that that investment into you is well worthwhile because, wow, you're amazing. I've just actually experienced that. So this is an area where cash is being left on the table because of no fallback and then because of no push forward in terms of visibility and trust and all of those types of things in your business. So really putting these offers in place, I just see this change people's worlds again, which also helps lead into the fourth one, which is on a bigger scale, talking about people having no automated sales systems in their business. And so let me give you an example of how this works in my business. I have somebody buy one of my low ticket digital offers. That is an automated sales system that brings people into my world. I no longer need to be on to make income and impact. My business is on all the time without me because of those ads that are running to that low ticket offer, which is liquidating itself. So I'm paying for my ad costs and then I'm making profit. So that's obviously a very smart business strategy. What then happens is I have a customer journey set up through my value ladder. So what goes on here is my people within that low ticket offer, they start to learn about my next offer in that in different ways. It's different in each of my low ticket products, but essentially I start introducing the next step in their customer journey, which at this point in time is the Content Mastery Club. They go on to VIP list, they get exposed to it, and that is what we call product awareness or most aware. So there's a customer journey, right, where people are problem unaware, problem aware, solution aware, as in I'm having a problem, I'm not getting seen on social media. Oh, the solution for that is content marketing. I need to get better at that. Then they're what product can offer me that? And then most aware is I know everything about this product, this person, all of those types of things. So what this allows us to do is helps people become solution aware if they're not already. So in my low ticket offer, I can say, hey, do you need more help with this? You likely need some content marketing support. I have a product for that called the Content Mastery Club. They're then aware of that and I can show them that at that touch point. Now, what that actually does is helps me not leave cash on the table because people will start to become interested in my offer instead of looking for offers in other people's worlds. So our people are problem and solution aware. We need to make them product aware in order to not leave cash on the table because we want to be the one to serve those people. We want to continue to help them in their journey from one offer to another. We want to be making sure this value ladder, this customer journey is helping us do that. And you might have heard about this before, really focusing on the term customer lifetime value. And it really is about focusing on not always just looking to acquire new customers in our business and really be on that hamster wheel, but it is about when we have a person in our world, how can we be the one that fully supports them throughout their transformation, their needs, their desires, their aspirations? How can we make sure that we are serving that person? How can we make sure that we are making them solution aware? And then how can we be sure that we are selling to them to their next step ethically, with authenticity, they need something. They're going to go looking for it anyway. We have that something. How are we making sure that we are telling that person about it? And this is why I use customer journeys or value ladders across my business to make sure that I am bringing people in automated through my digital product to profit strategy. I am then in each of those products, so starting with that low ticket offer that is an automated sales system, telling them about the next offer in the Content Mastery Club. They then also find out about the next offer with the Scalable Business School. And I'm still marketing each of those offers externally to the wider community as well for the people that they are perfect for. But I'm also making sure that customer lifetime value, this automated sales system. And what I see is so many people leaving cash on the table because they do not have this in place. Their offers are scattered or silos, not tied together. They're doing a lot of manual selling. They're constantly trying to acquire new people. They're losing customers. People in their world don't even know about these other offers that they might have. And this fixes that. All right, so I hope you don't mind me quickly interrupting today's podcast, but it is for a good reason. Just then, I spoke to you about how important it is to have a customer journey and how it fixes so many of the issues beautiful small businesses face. And I wanted to jump in here because if you were nodding your head during that section, I want to invite you to come to a free training. This is truly me pouring out my strategy that helped me to build my scalable business. I call this my scalable business blueprint. And it was exactly how I fixed the things that we were just speaking about and implemented this beautiful customer journey, this value ladder that helped me to go from literally working 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. You'll get to see my calendar in this masterclass. And this just was not my version of success. I was working around the clock. I was burning out, and I knew that I was also leaving money on the table. And when I implemented this exact strategy, I was able to reduce my calendar. And again, you see this in this class where I was able to truly create my version of success, freedom, flexibility, truly working on my terms, not always being on, multiplying my income and also multiplying my impact as well. And in this class, I am going through and showing you the 3 exact things that I did and that I believe every business owner needs to do to be able to transition to a business that allows you to serve more, to earn more, but while working less. A business that truly serves the people who you are here to share your knowledge with to help transform, but also that serves you as well. So if you want this exact strategy, if you want to swipe my scalable business blueprint, if you want to see exactly how I ideate offers, how I set up a sales system in my business and more, this is for you. Head to the show notes and sign up for this free training, or head to my Instagram over at This Is Corinda and DM me the word blueprint, and I will have my robot send you over the link to the training for you to dive right in. All right, back to today's episode. And then lucky last, for our 5th and final place that people are leaving cash on the table, this is a little different one, but it is a big one, and it is our personal conviction. And what I mean by that is sometimes in business, people have these things set up. They have the upsell or the downsell or the bump of their product. They have the conversion rates which are being optimized. They might have a great offer suite which is set up by a sales system, but they are not turning up in their power and selling. They are not turning up in their power and serving to the best capacity they have. I am not saying that you need to be constant. I'm not saying that you need to be posting once, twice, 10 times a day. I'm not saying that you need to be out there being the most famous person in the world. But what I am saying, and you will know if this is you because it comes up quite a lot, there are people playing smaller than they should be in this world, in business. And that is one of the things that is leaving cash on the table. And I see this showing up in so many different ways. One of the biggest ways is really like avoidance disguised as work. So when we're really stuck in this cycle of working, but doing busy work instead of doing breakthrough work, instead of getting out there and putting those selling stories on, instead of getting out there and building that sales system, instead of getting out there and really going hard on whatever our business goal is, we're doing other things in the background, scrolling social media, responding to DMs, saving things, overlearning, tinkering in Canva, really just perfecting different things that don't need to be perfected. It shows up so differently from person to person, but if you are not boldly showing up, selling, launching, making offers in a way that's sustainable to you. So again, I'm not saying you need to be hustling to do this, but I'm saying if you've got 20 hours a week to work in, how much of that is busy work and how much of that is breakthrough work? And I really want you to ask yourself that. Then I see people also doing this by subconsciously undercharging. So in my world, I teach a pricing matrix, and it's not about having high ticket offers or only high ticket. We do low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, and I have a way that teaches people to price these. And so I'm not saying you need to be charging high ticket prices, but what I'm talking about, and I see people undercharging, is when using my matrix, for example, they figure out their offer should be between, let's say, $147 and $250. And there's ways that they figure out where that sits in there. And maybe they think mine's going to be $177. That feels really great to me. They go to put it out there, that $177 price is in their head. They go to put that on the sales page, and just before they publish the sales page or put it out there, they think, oh, no, you know what? No, maybe I'll take it down to $147, which is that lower end of the pricing matrix. But then they go, oh, you know what? Actually, it's a blah, blah, blah launch, or it's this, or it's that. And they start telling themselves things, and they go, I'll put it for 90 or I'll put it for 95, right? This is what I mean by undercharging. When the methodology that you're using for pricing tells you that it should be in a certain range, and you are undercharging that. And this range takes in values as well. So I am a values-led business owner who actually does prefer to charge. When people say charge your worth, if that's you, absolutely love that for you. If that's what works for you. For me, I actually like to undercharge my worth. I'm still working very smart as a business owner. I'm still making incredible income in my business. But what I normally do is have pricing down the lower end because of my brand values and personal values. But I also, when I have those price points, do not undercharge on those. So I'm still at a lower price point from my values. But then what I'm talking about here is when everything is within your values, is within strategy, is priced right, and you go, I'm going to undercharge that. That is leaving money on the table. Then there's things prioritizing others over your own growth. Now, I am all for wholehearted servitude. I have devoted my life now to helping women really achieve what they deserve. But I also understand that there is a portion of my life that has to be dedicated to me, to my business, in order for me to be the best I can, to live the best life I can, to also be the best to help other people. And where people are leaving cash on the table is when they are not holding boundaries around that and carving out time for self-development, self-work, whatever you need to be doing behind the scenes in the business, working on the business, not just in the business. And as I said before, simply not selling enough. Where people are not turning up and actually selling, they are keeping themselves playing small and keeping cash on the table. So there you have it. These are the 5 things that I really see so prominent in a lot of the businesses that I have the honor to work with. And I really hope that this has helped shed some awareness, some inspiration, some insight, some empowerment around the places that you could be looking in your business at where you could be creating more income for you, more impact for people on the other side with things that you can do or go about just as part of your weekly, daily, monthly plan to be chipping away at these things and watch your income and impact ignite from there. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Seen, Love, Selling, Scale podcast. I hope today's episode left you feeling inspired, fired up, and empowered to make serious moves that align with your goals and version of success, both in life and business. If you loved what you heard, head over to www.thisisco.com.au to find all the links and resources mentioned in today's episode. And if you aren't already following the show, make sure you hit that follow button so you never miss a future episode when it drops. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place, same goal to get you seen, loved, selling, and scaling. See you then.